and it's the Bols podcast. That is, you already know what it is. We everywhere. It's the boy, Sleeves the Hustler in the building. Got my bro all day long, Stizov, you know what I'm saying, aka Brother Byron, and of course the boy Skyrie for Tyree.
That Byron ain't stuck, huh? Like,
absolutely, it ain't going nowhere.
Who would have legs like that?
Exactly. I'm gonna make it stay.
I was like, ooh, I just.
Hey, listen, can I introduce our prominent guest?
Yeah,
And listen, let us get right to it. Today we got our brother, you know what I'm saying, from way back like no other. And on the low, this man is doing things behind the scenes.
He's the man behind the man. Behind the man.
Sitting behind the man. So we happen to be sitting next to the man that is the man.
All the way behind.
You see this? That's when you that low. But those that know this face though. Shout out to our good brother, Brandon Pankey in the building. Absolutely.
Shout out to Rittenhouse. Shit.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
Let's go all the way back.
Exactly. Let's go all the way back. That's where it's at.
I didn't go to Lincoln now, but God bless America.
Family. Exactly.
We gonna shout out that league.
Nobody else, man.
You know what I'm saying? We still hooping the ball out here, man. Uptown's finest right here, man. Missing a few. So this is a pleasure to be here right now. We got this quality family setting with the Brevs, and we're gonna get to some things. We're gonna let y'all know about this good brother, where he comes from, what he gets into, and basically, this man on the low too just got an esteemed honor. I believe I grew up not watching Reading Ebony, you know what I mean? So therefore, for someone to get, represented by Ebony as top 100, shit, I take the fake frames off for that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's everything. So it's a pleasure for us to even have him here and him to take time out right now to do this. So we're about to get into some shit, man. It's the Bols. What's this?
Like you said, you have an esteemed guest.
Man, got me sweating talking about it. You know what I mean?
The man wears so many hats. I don't know exactly where to start at.
You gotta go to the beginning. You know what I'm saying? What's the first one he put on? Like, you know what I mean?
Look. He's a music executive. He's a father. He's a hard worker.
He's texting. He's always working.
He's multitasking.
No. Yes.
He does so many things. No, you just.
But it'd be a great, real talk. So that was. I'll tell y'all after this stop shooting, but that was somebody like, I need help real quick. So that's why I do it. I don't like doing that shit. Because it's ignorant. Especially around other black folk. You sitting there texting and shit. That's where you get sedity from. That's where you get all those terminologies and shit from.
Absolutely.
I'm not that.
No, that's cool because that fits right in, right? So, for the people that don't know.
No, they need to know.
Mr. Pankey.
Absolutely.
Live Nation Urban VP. Vice President, or are you President? So I know you be making crazy moves.
I'm Vice President.
Okay.
That's what's on paper. That's what's on paper. I heard what he be doing on the low, but continue on. You know what I mean?
VP of Business Development Operations.
Mm-hmm.
What does that entail? What does that mean? What do you do on a day-to-day? We know you're constantly helping artists out after hours. Mm-hmm. What is that about?
Give niggas comp tickets to shows. That's my job, like in a nutshell, real talk. But no, it's a lot, right? So let me go into my spiel. Live Nation Urban was founded in 2017 to uplift black folk, really support and develop events and platforms in hip hop, R&B, and gospel. Not only that is to educate and bring more black people into the live industry, live music space, because nobody really understand that there are so many jobs and professions and opportunities in live music. If you like lighting, if you're good with lights, you can be a lighting director and make $3,000 a week on an arena level tour. If you're, if you like video, if you're a designer, if you like, a friend of mine was like, damn, I really like designing sneakers and shit like that, and I can design shows and things like that. If you want to be a designer, you make $25,000 designing a set for a tour, and then make more money after that if you design multiple tours. So there's just a lot of jobs and opportunities. So my role, because I deferred because I always want black people to know that there's an opportunity. For us, we just don't get the access into this fucking world. There's so many white people working with black artists, but we don't get to work with the pop artists and the EDM and rock and shit. That's not fair. And I hope that we're able to bridge that divide in the future. Okay,
absolutely.
So what I do, is help to bring in new business. So partner with Spotify, partner with Amazon, partner with all of these different companies to develop new events, new exciting events, or come up with new ideas for festivals, or just, and then I operate. So it's business development and then it's operations. So I'm on site, I'm managing the budgets for a lot of festivals, I'm, helping to book or hire the tour managers for certain tours, or the people that are running the behind the scenes. I'm kind of just, I'm making sure that shows run successfully. So that's Lights On, Hers Festival in the Bay Area, Roots Picnic here in Philly, Little Louisiana Fest, Wayne's Festival in New Orleans. We have Broccoli City, we partner with them, so I don't do as much, but really helping them grow their brand. They went from 11,000 people, now they're up to 30,000 a day. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that, but really now getting into content, especially since COVID. They had a nigga, can I say nigga?
That's the fuck you want. You just did. You just did. Say what the fuck you feel right now.
Oh, nigga. Okay, no, it felt great. No, but no, I don't know, last year we started doing more content. So I was interviewing a lot of executives and, really trying to bring knowledge, again, to disenfranchised individuals who don't have access. And so now I'm diving into content. We'll probably get into that. So I'm not going to touch that yet, but, I do some shit. I do a little bit there, a little bit there, but mostly it's when niggas call me and say, "Oh, I need tickets to her on Saturday for that." Like literally.
But in that, from what you just said though, it has to get to the point where we at to get the tickets. You setting all that shit up from birth stage to get here and make sure all that shit running right. So that's amazing, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Really, because it's a lot of shit, a lot of personalities. You putting all these pieces together. So let's not downplay that shit. Like, I know what goes into a show, so that's
So let me ask you this.
Go for it.
Did your love, passion for music lead you to this business, or did your business acumen lead you to music?
I think it's a mix of both. So I probably, Stop will tell you. So his brother and I, grew up together.
Who we all
love. Yes, absolutely.
Shout out to my
Hold up, man. Toast up for Moguls.
Yes.
Fuck that.
Yes,
You know
amen.
what I'm saying?
Amen to that.
Love you all day, bro.
And, from an early age, both of us wanted to be in entertainment. You know what I'm saying? In general. I have from when we were 16, I have a damn deck. It was like a business proposal, like how we want to run a label. So I've always wanted to be in music. Like this was like music. It was entertainment for me. Like we were talking about, fun fact, I thought I was going to be an actor, actually, not necessarily more on the music side. And so it was all of that. And so I love music, and I was like, I'm going to be an executive. I'm going to be, Puff or Russell or Jay, you know what I'm saying? And so that's what it was. So it was a mix of both. And then, I can play, I don't know if I'm smart, but I look the part. And that's what I look safe. I look safe.
Absolutely.
That's the laugh. That's the laugh. And that's what helps you ascend. It's not really what you talk to them. It's who you know and how you talk to them.
Absolutely.
Are you kidding me? So, drink them up. I'm drinking them away. You don't see me with Hennessy, you niggers. You don't see me with Hennessy. So, no. It's a mix of both. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the, you gotta have a little bit of a love for this. Sure. Because I tell people all the time, it's like being a doctor on call all the time without the salary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always on call. There's always people calling me, no matter what. And so if you don't love it, you're gonna die from it or drown out from it or whatever, or just you can't consume it, you know what I mean, on a day-to-day basis. So it's a mix of both.
But how do you maintain a balance? Because you're a dad, you gotta work, you gotta maintain friendships with other people, you gotta maintain your business relationships.
And have a life.
And have you got your own, this is your passion, but you probably have other smaller passions, things you like to pursue as well. How do you balance all these things?
I'm literally texting while I'm nutting, right? Like if I'm nutting with her, I'm texting while I'm doing it. And so that's how
That's a great way to break it down.
That's how you balance. You gotta do both of them.
That seems like a proper balance.
No, cut that. Edit that. So no,
I like releasing text. Go ahead, but anyway, you know what I'm saying? Text release.
Text and I bust.
Exactly.
It's a blessing, really. No, but how do I balance it? Man, it's so funny you say that. So 2013, I got a pulmonary embolism. And you know what I'm saying? I almost died, right? And it was from the doctor said it was from excessive travel for the business side or whatever. So from that point on, I started like just making time for myself. Like I was like, I'm going to decide to make time. And my son was just born. You know, when I got the pulmonary embolism, he was born 2 weeks prior. So I was, it was a lot. And I was like, you know what? To me, it was God's way of like, look, chill out, slow down, spend time with your son who was just born. Because I was about to go start traveling like probably 2 weeks after that. You know what I mean? And from that point, how do I balance it? I make time for myself. And COVID really changed the game. Because I'm like, I'm never working in an office 5 days a week, ever again in life. Like, ever. Like, and COVID, and I, but how much is this? Who watching this? Well, ain't no women watching this. But I would take trips. Yeah. Like, I would take a lot of trips. Like, throughout COVID, I was one of them fucking people that was not supposed to be taking trips. And I would sneak off. I would go to Miami to work
all the time.
But it was always work related, of course.
Always a business trip.
Absolutely. It's a part of my business that I have to see.
I gotta go out of
if the
town.
leisure is proper for my artist. He has to make sure.
She would sit on my face, my glasses would almost break. Luckily, I have a great relationship with Warby Parker. And so they're like, here comes Brandon again. So, luckily, it's just, I make time.
You got to.
Because
That's
if I
good.
don't, then I'm going to get consumed with it. I've been consumed with work before, and I still am to a certain extent, but I got to make sure I spend time with my son. I've missed so many, just from family, graduations and parties and events and just get together. Just like we're together, where are you? I'm in this city or I'm doing this. And so I make a concerted effort, especially now, just to find a way to make time. Because at the end of the day, this work is important, and I hope I'm elevating other folks in this, but
Absolutely.
my family has to come first. My friends have to come first. And stop, I'll be real with y'all. Like, you see, this is why I don't drink. This is where my lights can come in, because I get emotional. But I've said this, I don't know if I said this to y'all or not, but I always felt like, fuck, hold on. Now, I'm not trying to do this. But I always felt like I failed Rittenhouse. And no, let me tell you why I say that. No, because I made a promise, to Muhammad, like, yo, do better. Like, and I didn't make time for things that were important, for people that were important, just in general. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm like very conscious. And like, if you say, yo, make sure, can you do this podcast? I'm going to do it. Like in a past life, like, I ain't got time. But
that's growth, bro.
I hear you, but also you have to make sure that you are doing things for people that you love and that you care for, because
Absolutely.
that shit is more important than all this work shit. Like, fuck this work shit. Live Nation will fire me if I don't work hard consistently for 2 months. But y'all, and ain't nobody gonna give up on me in 2 months if I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the difference. And
But if I may chime in on that, and appreciate you and love you, bro, but what I'm saying is, think about when we talking about the house era, man.
Yeah.
Latter 20s, you get what I'm saying? Like 28, 29, 30s, like this, trying to figure it out, but we also consumed by what we thought what it was. You get what I'm saying? So you was already in the mix, and you was trying to make that grow, and we was in the mix trying to do it, but it just was like, you had to, listen, everything happens for a reason, you know what I'm saying? So it's all about learning and figuring it out. You figured it out just like we all figured it out, you know what I'm saying? And that's all it is, and from that, we grow and keep it the fuck moving.
But be clear, I still got the poster. It was the second Roots picnic.
Absolutely.
Rittenhouse was a part of.
Of course, and it was one of my, listen, I loved it. Fuck that. We was in the little joint to the side, but it was great. That was a big room, and we was one of the first acts to go on, and we killed that shit.
And let me make speaking of first acts to go on, let me make my announcement now. You don't have to put this in here if you want to, it's up to you.
We will.
But 2022, Roots Picnic, there's a podcast stage. And I believe the opening podcast would be Podcast Bols. Let's just put that out there.
Niggas get ready, because I'm fucking ready. Going crazy.
Appreciate that.
Let's put it out there. Let's put it out there and keep it out there.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I know you said you had pulmonary embolism, and I can relate to that. I myself didn't have pulmonary embolism.
But your sister?
My sister had one. My brother also had one. I had blood clot in my leg. Right? And I was working, leg felt sore, those were some calf raises at the gym. Nah, stayed sore. Went, got a CAT scan, it was like, yo, not CAT scan, but a Doppler. They're like, no, you got blood clot, you gotta go to the ER right now.
Dang.
And I'm like, oh, wow. Because I know how serious it is. You travel, get your heart, lung, whatever, brain, aneurysm, you're done. And I have a family history of it. So I know for you, right, you're like, that made me kind of want to slow down and appreciate things. Now, for me, at the same time, I was like, damn. It just reminded me of my mortality. Like, you really don't have a whole lot of time. You might not. So maybe these things that you think you might be talented in, you really need to try to get the ball rolling. Did you have that same kind of effect? Did it have that same kind of effect on you as well? I know it makes you want to chill out and appreciate your friends and your family, but at the same time, it's kind of like, yeah, I really.
Clock's ticking.
Yeah, it could be for like you never know. Like, because if you get one, they say you can get another. You know what I mean? So
my light skin multiplied by 8. I was so, let me tell you, I went to the doctor. So I drove myself to the ER because I was like, what happened was, and I've never.
Now that's not a light skin thing to do. This man was in distress.
It was because of myself. No, but I'll tell y'all. Let me tell y'all.
Still drove himself to the ER.
Let me tell y'all.
3 gunshot wounds and all.
I'm such a nigga. No, let me tell you, I'm such a nigga. Because I had just hit some chick the night before. Like, she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I don't know.
Yes, I'm fine.
I'm fine." But I was like, "No." My heart was like, "Fuck." I'm like, "Why am I being so? That ain't that great." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why am I? So I was. My son was in a bassinet. Now I'll never forget this. My son was in a bassinet and laid down. And I was like, I went to sleep. And I was scared that I wasn't gonna wake up. That's how fast my heart was beating. So I woke up and I looked down, I was like, bro, take your ass to the ER. Like, I thought it was, and this is how old black, I was host pneumonia, I get over it. And I drove to the ER and I went, yeah, basically, that's how it was.
And some ginger ale.
It was the week of Thanksgiving. It was that Monday. Thanksgiving was Thursday. I never get this shit. And I went to the doctor. I was like, yeah, I think I got pneumonia. I saw, when you see 3 to 4 doctors like talking to each other. And I was like, what the
That's different.
Yeah. I was like, that's silly.
They were calling plays and shit. Something going on.
I was like, yeah, so can I?
Omaha. Audibles and
They
shit.
audible. I was like, so I'm getting out of the bar. They were like, you're here for the week. And I was like, no, I can't miss Thanksgiving. They said, if you want to live, you're going to miss Thanksgiving. And I was like, fuck. So for me, it just, I didn't take it as seriously as I should have. Like, even after the fact, I said it on panels and shit just to evoke some, I had a pulmonary embolism, and, I made it. Like, take it.
Persevere.
I persevered. That's why you should buy your tickets.
Exactly.
For the next. Like, it was dumb. It was dumb. The way I would treat it was dumb. But I will say, to your point, at that point and even beyond, I was like, yo, get more into the content shit. Start doing do stand up. Do more stand up. Just do shit that you want to do. Like, just do what you want to do. Like, fuck it. Like, and that point, it was like more of like just have fun while you're doing all this other shit. Yeah.
No, that's living life, man. And it takes things for you to realize that, man. I feel you. I didn't have that. But, 2 years removed from mom's going upstairs, that's why, I sit here in a foundation with my brothers with a great brand and a movement right now because of that.
Yeah.
And it was steamrolled and pushed by this good brother Staff when he just hit us up like, yo, we need to do a podcast. Because we already had internet radio shows, things of that nature we did since like 2001, 2, whatever, on and off. And for him, once he hit me with that, it was like, yeah, it's time. And just like with us, just like how we're here right now, and there's really no bullshit. See, what y'all don't get is when it's authentic, you ain't really gotta go and have no script. Ain't nobody back there putting up no fucking signs or nothing. This is a natural flow, because this is what the fuck we do. The Bols, as you know. Anyway, man, go ahead.
Like I said, you got so much going on. And
Absolutely.
There's a few things I want to talk about.
Okay.
The Dash thing is still going on.
Absolutely.
We can maybe come back to that. What I want to talk about is Apex.
Yes.
Now, Apex was supposed to come out this summer, right? But it's the fall,
It's coming.
right?
It's coming.
I'm on the mailing list. I'm waiting.
It might be January, but it's coming. It's coming.
So it's going to be a media outlet for all types of artists, performers. Break it down.
Let me tell you what it is. Now, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. This is Apex Artist Presented Experiences is something that I should have did actually in 2014. I wish I would have had more relationships with investors and more just better relationships that would have been out. But it's my Netflix for musicians. And you look at You look at what 50 Cent has done with Power and the Power,
Yes.
Power
Universe.
plus BMF. So in my mind, like I'll tell you the genesis of it. 2013, I see Vince McMahon, WWE, on the cover of Forbes, and he has his WWE network that had just come out. We weren't really talking about streaming. I mean, we had Netflix and certain things, but it wasn't as massive as it is now. And he charged $9.99 a month. I'm like, if wrestling can have its own fucking streaming service, why can't music have its own for whatever it is, scripted, unscripted, documentaries, horror, sci-fi, whatever. And WWE wrestling, before Peacock, NBC streaming services bought it, was at 1.3 million subscribers at $9.99 a month. You know what I'm saying? That's
I was one of them.
Me too. Me too. Like, that's $125 million a year in revenue, 25 plus actually. But so I was like, I need to come up with this. What Apex is for me is my way of getting into filming and content without leaving my music background. And so artists have to be involved in it. So if Cube was like, I want to put the Final Friday sequel in this, or if A Star Is Born has a sequel with Lady Gaga, something like all of those types of things would live on this property. It's not performances. I prefer that artists don't just do concerts and shit. I want dramas and comedies and sci-fi. Like, in 5 years, if we don't have Emmy nominations and Oscar nominations, then I failed the vision of what Apex is to me. So we are shooting, Radio, Issa Rae's label. Actually, one of my techs, they finished shooting. They have a show on there. Mark Lamont Hill, he just actually had a pulmonary embolism. He had to delay his shooting, but he has a politically slanted talk show on there. I just finished shooting a short film, working with another company on another film. Like, CAA is repping it. Like, for me, this is massive. This is special for me, right? And I really want to give artists an opportunity. Not, the Drakes of the world, the Beyoncés, they're going to get Netflix deals. But like, for those emerging artists and those artists that have ideas but don't have an outlet to take them, bring them here and we'll build something.
Now, so wait, let me cut in.
Yeah.
So I got a question about that. You said should have came out in 2014. From then till now, has the thought or the concept evolved in your head in terms of what you want to produce?
Yeah, it has.
Has it gotten, like, what's different?
What's different was I was just going to put out, honestly, it was just going to be a black streaming service, and artists were, I might have Living Single as a license, or, you know what I mean, because Queen Latifah was in it. Like, it was just going to incorporate it, but it wasn't all focused on artists. And so now it was like, because there are so many, I've got to really super focus on what this is so that it stands out from other things. And that's what it is. Like, as long as an artist is producing or starring in the content, it will be here. If they're not, it won't be here. And so a lot of great response. I just need to come out with it. The problem is I was cocky again, light skinned. I was like, summer, coming out, no doubt, easy, kick up. And then all of these shows and shit, I didn't expect all of these live shows to come back so fast. I really didn't. I was like, what the fuck? And then we're doing D-Nice and Club Quarantine Live. We're doing this festival, hers festival, we're doing this. And I was like, how can I do this?
Right, got all this other
Exactly.
stuff.
So January, one way or the other, whether it's one day on the bitch or not, if it's one title, if you see one episode of something,
Something's coming on Apex.
something coming.
This is just
in
me
January.
sitting there talking to y'all.
Yeah, like real talk. We might be recording this every day. Whatever happens.
Let me ask you this about Apex though, right? Now, is it going to be similar to YouTube where you get paid off of ads on your content, or are you just going to be offering people contracts?
Offer people contracts. That's what I've been doing. It's a Netflix will give you X amount of dollars to create your product. They'll have some ownership in it. That's what it is. That's what this is. This is a real. That's what I mean. Like, I don't want this to be YouTube or Complex. This ain't what this is. This is Netflix, Hulu, Apex. Like, that's where my mindset is.
You must have some really nice financial backers.
Let me tell you.
Business game, yeah. It made me an animal. There's rules to this shit.
Look, let me say some things about it.
You know what sucks? No, let me tell you what sucks. And I hate this. I hate even saying this. Okay, we might have to edit this. I don't know. I'm big on editing.
Shit, this is raw.
This is raw. All right, fuck it. No, keep it on. No. It bothers me because I went to black folk with this idea. I went to multiple of us, like, yo, let's do this. I don't know, we are so risk averse when we make it to a certain level. And I think part of it is I don't necessarily want to leave this level, or some of us don't want to help others
Come
get
up.
to that level. No, I didn't come up, get to the level there.
Wow.
Older, some of the older folks. And I went to, and this shit hurts my heart. I went to one friend of mine who's a white boy, financial advisor, great person, incredible person. Gave me X amount of dollars, said, let's go, let's get started. And I was like, huh? Like, that's all it takes? Like, it's a different world. So we have to do better in cultivating young talent and cultivating each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to do better. And that's something that I'm going to stick to, go by, abide by, and I hope that I do that. I hope I don't become 55 or 60 and say, no, little guy.
That ain't our era.
Like, that's not what we do.
No.
That's not who we are.
No, not
that's not
at all.
how we grew up. I think we grew up with a better sense of business community. I think, other generations had community, but that I want to make sure you succeed.
You can only go to certain, like, no.
Yeah, so
So I guess that's where Dash comes in, where you go to
Yes.
schools and cultivate young Brandons of the future and try to make other entertainment.
Speak on that.
and young brandies, I want to make sure
Oh,
we
yeah,
make sure
of
our
course.
women are accounted for. Okay,
Love the system.
being recorded. No, but Dash, Destined to Achieve Successful Heights. This was a program.
Wait, slow down.
Yeah, it's how you can't run that. You gotta
Sorry. Edit. Dash, Destined to Achieve Successful Heights. As a
Absolutely.
program started, I was actually an intern with two of my mentors, Michael McAuliffe and Jerome Hips. At the time, Managed Music Soul Child and a few others. I interned for them. They had me help them create a curriculum and create a program that teaches students about the business of entertainment.
Right.
And that started in 2005. We had a grant from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to start a high school focused on the business of entertainment. Dr. Ackerman at the time, the late Dr. Ackerman, put a freeze on charter schools in 2008, or the freeze on creating new charter schools. So we created an after-school program in Philly, in Baltimore, and now we're back in schools, Strawberry Mansion, Girls High, Miss Dobbins, Overbrook, a couple other, I'm missing some, Drinking Moet, and we're teaching students about the business of entertainment, business of music, business of sports. That's Michael right there calling me now. And it's very important. That's a big part of me, right? Like teaching. Teaching is a huge part of what I feel like I'm
back, man. Yeah.
Not even that. If I wasn't in music, I'd probably be a teacher. Like, I hear, like, if you're a black male teacher, you get a lot of vagina. That's a huge thing. That's huge. I mean, the kids too. But also,
Mr. Pankey, can you help me get your ass out of here?
get out of here. Is that your mom? Is that your mom?
There's son right now.
Such a mother.
Is that your mother? Hello. Yeah, I love math. No, I 69. But I think but no, it was very important for me to do that, and so for us to do that, and so we continue to build that. We're going to go national, hopefully in the next couple of years, but just trying to balance that. And we
That's
don't
awesome,
understand.
man.
Carol Riddick is a part of this program as a program director. We have Grammy nominated songwriters, producers, Grammy award winning, as our teachers. So it's really a dope program.
Sounds like I wish we would have had that back when we was.
Me too.
Yeah, that's why. But see, that's the thoroughness of it. We didn't. Now you're bringing it. You know what I'm saying? That's the
Damn, so much, man. Dash, Apex. We gonna get an Apex Fest with Ja Rule and
Would y'all? Yeah, you know it. What would y'all do? WWJ did. No, we're not getting Ja Rule.
cancel culture is big.
Yes.
So I know you gotta be something you gotta be wary of. You know?
Yes, absolutely.
Now I'm gonna come back to it, right? I know recently you just saw, maybe you didn't see, but I had put a post up. So Darius McCrary, Sydney Star.
Yeah.
You see the pictures. Darius came out and said that no, we're not dating. Sydney Star is a trans woman, black, right? So he came out and said we're not dating, but they took some mighty sexy photos together. You know what I'm saying? Which was a little, it's like, whoa. But if you're into that, then you're into that. You know what I'm saying? Like Malik Yoba, Mr. C, or something. C looks like Malik Yoba. Look, that's good.
Say that shit, man. He's trying
Billy
to
Undercover.
get going.
Billy Undercover.
Come on with your shit, man.
So I'm like, okay. I think obviously this is some type of publicity stunt, right? Now I'm thinking to myself, is he just trying to ride off of the backlash that Dave Chappelle got for all of the trans phobic jokes or anything like that? And now in your business, is that type of publicity stunt something that you would like endorse or tell an up and coming artist to do if you need to get buzz or get their name out there or anything like that?
I wouldn't. I would hope that the talent, that the songs, that the music, that what you're doing is enough to get you out. I disagree with you. I don't necessarily think it was a publicity stunt.
You think it was legitimate?
I think it was legitimate and then it got out. And I think it probably got out because someone was noticing the Dave Chappelle stuff. But I don't necessarily think it was a publicity stunt because he wouldn't have had his TV mama, corroborating with him.
Right, yeah, I did.
Saying, no, that was weird. That was weird.
They was in oxtails or whatever.
Yeah, Harry Winslow saying, no, this is wrong. Steve! Like, Harry Winslow. But no, I wouldn't tell an artist that. Like, especially as they're starting out, hopefully their music and who they are is enough to get them.
That's what it's supposed to be.
To a certain level. I wouldn't necessarily say go date this person or go do this stunt. And real, I mean, you look at the artists that are successful or in this era, right? The Lil Babies of the world or Dirks or even let's go R&B. We can go her. We can go. I don't want to put him up there, like Giveon's. Like there are different people who are successful without gimmicks. You know what I mean? They are who they are, and it's not necessarily a gimmick-led thing. Like again, the people that have to do that,
Here today,
Darius McCarthy, Eddie Winslow,
Exactly.
because that was in '92. But that's not something that people who are really popular, really doing it, who connect with their artists, connect with their fans, have to do.
No, you said the baby. That's funny because I was thinking about him too, and all this. Little baby. I'm sorry. There's a difference. You gotta know. But now my question to you is, since that you work so closely with artists, if you have an artist that's having like a baby moment,
Yep.
because we're not on the inside. What's the protocol? How do you try to counteract
You call-
cancel?
You call your PR firm immediately. PR has to jump in, and y'all have to have it's PR, it's management. It was a festival, so I would get one of the festival organizers. I would just have a team of people that we could all sit there, discuss what are the best routes. I would have PR leading it, just because they have the most experience, but management steps in and really cultivate what is that statement or statements or what he has to say. I feel like they handled that completely wrong. Like that whole thing is handled completely wrong. However, I also feel like it's so interesting, like with certain demographics or certain groups, how people can get canceled immediately. Mm-hmm. But if I, said nigga, black nigga, who cares? It's just fun. It's black people. I'm black. I can say whatever I want. And I think that part of it is unfair. I think that part of it continues to play into, the fact that we are clearly the most disenfranchised group, still on this fucking, in this fucking country, probably on this planet. And so we have to, that part of it bothers me, but to answer your question, see, I'm getting into more stuff, but to answer your question, yeah, you have to have a few key people around to make sure that,
So to piggyback on that, it's obviously much more difficult, but what's your plan of attack if the person that you're trying to help change around is adamant in their stance and not even willing to take the stance that the people paid to manage his persona aren't advising him to do?
So at that point, it becomes more of save your ass, save your own ass. Okay. It's like, I'm going to write you an email. This is what I recommend. I understand that you don't want to go in this direction, but this is what we recommend, so that people know, like, hey, we let him know how we want him to handle it. He or she know how we want him to handle this, and they're handling it a different way. And so, if you can't get through to the artist, you can't get through to the artist. Right. It is what it is. You know what I mean? That's on them at that point. Right. But you make sure that they can't blame you because you did everything you could.
Correct. CYA.
Yeah, that's right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Real quick, changing the speeds, in the city of Philly, uptown right now, you have been working with and linked to the legendary, and I repeat, legendary, the best ever hip-hop band. I didn't say group, I said hip-hop band, because that means something to ever do it, and that would be the Roots crew.
Legendary.
Absolutely. You can't even say that without saying the legendary
Yep.
Roots crew. All right. Thought, Quest, the best to ever do it. So, how's that experience been, and how did that even formulate from the beginning?
Man, so my first real job in this industry, once I had an internship, was as an assistant at this business management firm called the Sports Entertainment Financial Group. And one of the clients that they had was the Roots. It was the Roots, Jill Scott, and Kanye West. And the Roots were there from the beginning. And the Roots have given me, that was my first festival. We formed the Roots Picnic in 2008. So that's the first festival I've ever done. The first.
You're looking at one of the founders of that.
I'm not a founder. No. I don't want to take that away from the people that founded it.
Fair
I'm one
enough.
of the first workers as a part of the
Absolutely.
Roots. The founders are Questlove, Black Thought, the late and great Rich Nichols, and Sean G. I'll never do that. But as one of the first people to be a part of it. But that was my first festival experience. I had never seen a festival before that, for real. And so I would say the Roots gave me the foundation for everything. And the Roots have touched everything. They have content. I can't really on camera yet because nobody's supposed to know. But they get into, I was talking about play. But hold on, the Roots have taught me everything. See how I do that? The Roots have taught me everything from content to music to, I did a sneaker launch with Questlove. I don't know if anybody remembers this, from 2007. He had his own sneaker with Nike. They had a restaurant at a time. They were working on Fatburger, working on in fast food. So everything that I've ever learned, like every piece, I feel like the Roots have been integral in helping me to develop who I am in this industry and beyond, from artist management, business management, and content and everything else. And so it's been crazy. And their work ethic. I mean, before Fallon, they were touring 200 to 300 days a year on a 365. And so to see that, and then even from the Fallon era, okay, so this is what it looks like when a band is on a national show, understanding that, just understanding the business. That's what the Roots really provided.
Absolutely. Nice.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, listen, Brandon, one of the last things I want to ask you, because I know you're all about power in the community, especially empowering Black people. What is the most important thing you feel for the Black community at this moment? What's the most important thing you think we need to do or accomplish in this time? It's a very tumultuous time. There's a lot of craziness going on in the world.
That's a wide question.
I know. I just want to hear, whatever you feel.
First two things that popped in my mind were where I became.
Southern. That was that Southern. That was that Southern.
That's
joint. That was that Southern.
That's the answer.
Wait, talking about
It was like the question was, how do we get free?
First we got to run tonight. First thing in my mind, who the fuck was that? My family is from Virginia. I don't know where that came from, but no, I would say accountability popped up and helping each other out. So here's one of the things, right? When we talk about Black-owned businesses, I see a lot of us chastise or attack Black-owned businesses, or I think about restaurants, they move too slow, or they're late, or whatever. But we don't even have the knowledge to run businesses because we have been, white folks had 400 years ahead of us, a head start to do certain things, to run businesses, to steal our ideas. I know for a fact, you know what I'm saying, syrup, I would just take syrup. We cook better than everybody else. So I know that certain fucking things y'all took from us. You had to have stolen it. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You had to have stolen it. And there's no way they made certain. There's no way that they made certain things. You hear about the story about Jack Daniels.
That's what I was about to say. Exactly.
Jack Daniels whiskey.
Exactly. Brother Ray did.
If we're working all day and we gotta find ways to do shit, I know we invented some crazy shit drink this shit after doing. This is common sense shit. And so, but unfortunately, white people took our ideas, took things, and they were able to have hundreds of years of experience in developing business, in owning land, and doing things. So yeah, we're probably half the time not gonna run businesses as whatever, fill in the blank, as other races may. You know what I'm saying? Even when other folks were able to come in and immigrants were able to come in, they got, funding. They got, grants and things like that. And we still didn't get any of that.
What's for expansion?
They
gave them acres of land for free.
Acres for free. We were all acres. The Freedmen's Bureau, 1912, we were supposed to have acres. So I don't don't want us, we have to find ways to like not judge each other over certain things, because we have to understand where we all are in this together, right? This country wasn't built for us. This country wasn't made for us. We are doing everything that we can to make the best of it. And we don't support each other enough. And when I say by accountability, you know, and goes back to an earlier point, once certain motherfuckers make it, they like, well, I live, let me use Philly. I live in Warminster now. I take the regional rail. I'm not dealing with you. You know what I'm saying? That's the laugh. And, and we don't try to help others. And then, I don't see, this is where I get into it. But like, we talk about vices and things like that, and we judge other individuals for certain things that we do, right? Certain things that are done. Like, I even remember within my own family, like, people are on drugs, you know what I'm saying? But, I have a vice of gambling. You know what I'm saying? I'm at a blackjack table. What makes me better than this individual who may be using drugs to get away from whatever they're going through? And I think we have to stop judging each other, because I think we do a lot of we're very judgmental when it comes to each other, and we have to find ways not to be and to help each other. And I think that's, how do we help? We have to do that, because nobody else for real is going to help us. You know what I'm saying? You see Biden and Kamala come in, and nothing's really changed. People, it's a lot of lip service from politicians and shit, so we can't depend on government. We can't necessarily depend on, just even local officials. We have to help each other. And so that's why, little shit, this is so little, but like if I have the ability to have a festival and we have podcasts, I'm gonna fucking bring in podcast Bols. Like, that's just, that's where the position I'm in, and that's what it is. Like, it's little shit that we can do. And hopefully little shit turns into medium shit, that turns into larger shit, and we can continue to build. No, really.
It just happens with everything. Like, you keep giving it back. Like, you start, we give. Like, it's a cycle, but everybody has to be included and willing to be a part of that cycle.
Right.
That's the issue. You know what I mean?
And take advantage of the platform once you are given.
And once you're given it, because another thing about us, I think we're afraid of our own potential. I'm about to turn into a killer, and a little killer to be, but we are afraid of our own potential. To your point about having a clout, if you didn't have a clout, would you have said to stop? Let's have a podcast. I don't know, but I think we need to just stop being afraid. We're the greatest creators. We're the greatest motherfuckers on this planet. I'm gonna say that. We need to own that shit.
Yeah.
Like, let's own it. Like, let's fucking own it.
Yeah.
He's moving. He's fine.
Yes.
But what y'all don't know,
Oh shit.
see, I know old Brandon. Remember
Fat Brandon.
Fat Brandon.
Fat Brandon.
Now in the tight clothes.
Buddy Love. Turn the Buddy Love. Step on her girl. Like, that's my goal.
Everything's tight.
That's what that weakness is.
Give me the time.
Tighten up.
No, I need it.
When you in them tight holes, you gotta be.
I drank water. I didn't drink water. I drank water now. A lot of more alkaline. It's really a blessing.
Yeah, man, that's great, man. That's great. I mean, I don't know if you guys had. I know it seems like you two actually have a lot in common. You both like to gamble. You like wrestling a lot too, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
yeah. You're like, see, that's funny. I figured you.
When's your birthday?
January 21st.
Cool. You know what I'm saying? Still got Jay, months. January show.
That was a
You like handed?
fucking hand.
I do it though.
Nobody
Yeah,
takes
I
that
did.
shit.
You know what I'm saying? I do it though.
But that's pretty much answered all my questions.
I mean, just to leave it on that note that he talked about in terms of what we need to do as a people, I mean, you can't really wrap it up in a better bow. Like, I hope that message is taken away in terms of that accountability and just doing what we can to help each other. Like, you can only extend the olive branch for so far, and then you got to take that platform and own it and do what the fuck you need to do. But it's about extending it.
See
to
the
give us
flex and
another
shit. Gave you a
opportunity.
warrior joint. Well, listen, man. Agreed. And if I may say so on behalf of the Bols, it is a pleasure for us to give you a quality, man. A little throwback Philly type cover feel, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that's a one-on-one. We ain't even made that for nobody yet except you.
Prototype alert.
Let me take it out.
Prototype alert.
You gotta put that on camera.
Yes, you know what I'm saying?
Is it tight enough? If you
We everywhere, man.
Let's look at that M. Is that an M? Yeah.
Yeah, this works.
I can see my backs.
This works. Thank y'all.
Thank you,
y'all for
brother.
having me. This is how you fold this back up. Thank y'all for having me.
Listen, man, you do what you want to do to it, brother. Thank you. He getting ready to go to Beverly Hills, so we happy to have him before he roll out of here. You get what I'm saying? And do what he got to do for that good Ebony situation that he got going on. Well deserved. One of the hardest working men in Philly, period. You know what I'm saying? In the business right now. Keep doing your thing, man. If you didn't know, it's the Bols.
Shout out to Bill the barber because he couldn't be here tonight, unfortunately, but he had some supreme clientele that he had to go.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Barbershop series.
At Duke the barber, he ain't in here right now, but he let us use his joint. We love him for it, man. Appreciate him for it, man. This is what we do, man. The Bols podcast, that is. We everywhere. Sleeves the hustle.
Handles at Brandon_Pankey on IG, BPank at BPank on Twitter. Who uses Facebook, right? And so that's where I'm at right now. I'm not on TikTok or Snap or any of those things where my girl could probably cheat. So that's all I got.
That's good enough, man. We got staff over here with the lovely questions today, man, getting it in. You know, you see him with that olive army green. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. Skyrie in the cuts as always, man. Doing what he do, man. And all y'all can kiss my ass, man. And this is what it is, man.
No kiss
the
the
Bols, man. Drag in the back panic, man. First and foremost, shout out to me, man. That's all, man. I'm out of here.
It makes Brian Gumbo look like